Hello, fellow human, and do you love absolutely pointless accessories? Well, I've got something for you. Before that, we go into the tank server, and we start off with the Progetto 46 and the ML 1951. Both very solid vehicles, 15k for both. Bit questionable, 12k would be more appropriate for this bundle, in my opinion. Progetto is very difficult to play, has horrible standard penetration, and overall, it's not really amazing for making creds at that, so this is more of a second-tier premium tank. Now, the ML 1951 is somewhat similar to that. Now, the main reason why I'm saying that is simply because the ML1 exists, and the ML1 is simply a lot better at the hull-down playstyle that these vehicles are good at, because the third armor on this vehicle is quite a lot worse. However, it does have the special speed boost and is a bit faster, so there is that. So basically, if you're an advanced player and you are looking for an extra couple of tanks that are a challenge, this can be a solid pickup, but again, I'm not a big fan of the price. The MX-30 first prototype, 10k. The vehicle is a slight bit overrated for that. Now, 8.5k without equipment. I would have loved to see 10k with equipment here, but unfortunately that's not the case. But the vehicle obviously is a lot better deal than the Xia and is also a better tank than the Xia. So if you are looking for a tier 9 French medium tank, then this can be a decent pickup. But then again, there are better options, especially in the tier 8 segment. Like, for example, the Löwe, which is still here and is still an excellent bundle to pick up, 5.5k if you can afford it. And you do like heavy tanks and you're not just like, oh, I hate heavies, then this is a great pickup to have. Also talked about this bundle in detail in last week's shop review, but overall, they're pretty solid for the price. The tanks aren't outstanding or amazing, but for the price, and if you need extra premium tanks, then this can be a very solid pickup as well. Then these are pretty much just a waste of money because the T-34-3 is pretty bad as a vehicle. And the IS-2, while decent, it's just a copy of a tech tree vehicle, so you're essentially spending money to play the same tank again. Now this bundle of the MX-31st prototype, it's okay. Now, I have no idea what mushroom-induced fever dream this camouflage is, but it's an okay deal. So if you want this vehicle, I mean, I can't stop you, but it's definitely can be worth it. Then the Object 907 as well. I mean, it's gonna get nerfed a bit, and it's not really worth buying, to be honest. I mean, if you really want it, sure, but... And new this week, it's containers again, as always, and this time it's not a new vehicle, it's the Karo 45T in containers again, which I do find very, very shocking, but a lot of people do want this vehicle, so let me diffuse that problem very easily and very quickly. Later in the video, it is not worth it. Ever. Do not buy these crates. Now, the resource rotation this time is the good one again. That means that it doesn't include credits, but instead includes times 5 XP. So I recommend these if you are looking for gold. Let's see, look at that. 15 euros, 5.5k gold. You get your Löwe bundle with this thing, and you also have 25 times 5 that you can use on any vehicle and boosters. So basically, that's what I recommend. Get this bundle, 5.5k, get the Löwe. You have an absolute excellent deal with that. And as always, a reminder to open your free containers, and a also reminder to absolutely ignore any of the paid containers, because they're there for one thing, and that's to make you spend more money and to get less stuff. So do not buy crates, especially don't buy lockboxes, because while some crates somewhat retain their value, you're not getting any positive value, but they do somewhat retain their value. In lockboxes, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose all your value, so don't open them. You know, we get to the pointless accessories, because in this draw right here, you can win this thing, which does absolutely nothing, because I have a question for Wargaming here at this moment. Why is it not placed here? Like, in the garage view, you always look at the tank directly from here, but the accessory is placed here, so you never actually see it. Not only does it have no value whatsoever, because it's just a cosmetic that you can't sell, you can't even see it. Then, also, this camouflage exists, and would you rather have this thing or an entire Löwe? And the luxury lounge event is now back, which means if you have a lot of boosters left over, you can trade them in for diamonds And then you can use those diamonds to get rewards on the other side. So you're essentially trading something useful, like a booster, for this that you can't see. Still got backgrounds, and you can also trade it for other types of boosters. I mean, I don't know why you would want to have purple boosters and then trade them for blue boosters. But then again, and you can also get the limited edition container that is unlimited, which includes the scepter. Well, it doesn't include the scepter because the drop chance is 0.2%, so you might as well not try. But you can get the car. This time with the woodland camo. Yay. And apparently, an update happened that didn't do anything besides make battle passes worse. Now, because instead of getting a tier 6 vehicle that you can at least play around with, you now receive a tier 8 vehicle legendary camouflage. Wow. Much value. I mean, there isn't any value, but much value. Now, the Chieftain, the Object 268, the Object 704, and the Leopard got a facelift, which is very nice. The Chieftain now looks much better. And, yeah, there's... whatever. Now, why would you want to pay 100 euros for a Progetto that is slower and that has a cuck shell? Because that's what the Caro 45T is. Does it have any armor? No. Firstly, get that out of the way, which means it's somewhat difficult to play. So, if you can play the Leopard, why would you want to waste 100 euros on this thing? Now, the gun, though, and the mobility is very interesting. It has 3000 DPM and a 4-shot auto-reloader, which... that's quite a bit, is it? So that the gun on this vehicle is very good. If it does hit, that is, because the accuracy is 0.33, which is subpar for tier 10 medium tanks. And then the mobility is also only 18 power to weight ratio. It's not that good. So it does have its upside. But is it worth the asking price? Well, absolutely not. If you put this thing into the shop for 20k gold, like the Object 907, then this would be a pretty good pickup. Like the KPZ 50T, whatever it's called. That would be a good pickup. But for now, it's not. But the problem is, Wargaming knows that you want this vehicle. And if you don't want this vehicle, good on you, because there's no reason to. But Wargaming knows that you want this vehicle. Which means they're gonna sell it to you at the worst price that you want to buy it at. It's basic economy. Right? If there is a lot of demand for something, the price will go up. And that's what the case is with this vehicle. There is a lot of demand for it. Now, I don't quite understand, because the Progetto is perfectly fine. Like, the extra shell doesn't do anything, because the reload of the extra shell is 20 seconds, so you can never really use it anyway. And you do have a bit more DPM than the Progetto, yes, but all that is balanced out with the lesser mobility and not any more armor. I mean, it's essentially unarmored. For the most part. It can get bounces here and there sometimes. But it is essentially unarmored. Now, one tiny advantage it does still hold above the Progetto as well is its 30 more alpha damage. That's something that is actually nice about it. So essentially, you trade mobility for firepower here, going from the Progetto to the Caro. But do you trade it at a rate that is worth it for the price? Well, absolutely not. Already mentioned that a couple of times. But yeah, essentially, in the end, you have to know yourself what this vehicle is worth. To me, it would be worth 20k gold. If Wargaming would put it into the shop for an offer, 20k gold, I would buy it immediately. But that's not the case here. It's in crates. I don't buy crates. I'd rather buy things that are useful. Crates aren't useful. So, in that case, I'll stay away from it as far as I possibly can. And now, we only have 2 enemies left here. Let's go for the Vickers. Again, the accuracy is not the greatest, but it holds up just fine. Now, yes, I'm doing 4k damage here, but that's because I'm, like, kind of good at this game. I don't know how, but it's not the tank. It's me. Just to clarify that, you know. And because a lot of reviewers get that wrong. It's like, oh, look at that. I got 5k damage in this tank. It's so amazing. No, you had a good game. You can do 5k damage in an STG if you want to. Just one good game doesn't make a tank good. Especially a vehicle that is rarely sold and that only whales buy. And whales tend to also be somewhat better players most of the time. So, now, a good game doesn't make the tank good. Especially when the offer that this vehicle is in is so utterly horrible. So the verdict, for 20k, I'd buy it. For right now, nope.